As construction wraps up on Universal Deutschland's front gate area, we continue to push on and develop the land and the themes within it. Today, we are excited to announce the first land being put into full swing production at Universal Deutschland, Dorf, der Toten. Alright, welcome back to another episode of Universal Deutschland. As said in the little mini intro, today we are starting up work on Dorf, der Toten. This is our Dark Universe-inspired section to the park. It's going to feature all the classic Universal monsters with heavy emphasis on Dracula and Swamp Thing, or Swamp Creature. And we also have a Phantom of the Opera stuffing, but you'll see a bit more of that later. Right now, I'm just working on the portal gate thing. Again, we are heavily inspired by Epic Universe here, and so I decided to do my own kind of recreation slash take on the Dark Universe portal at Epic Universe. So I'm using a lot of these kind of accented metal pieces to give it some shine with some solid color, and then a bunch of these tube lights because I think they look kind of, like the electric tubes. Coming in here to add in the little golden type arch thing they have where the text would be displayed for the land. And trying to just really get the basic shape the same as the actual one, or at least very close, so I can then come back and add in that unique flair. This is something I really like doing. I've done this for other builds before, is to take these icing pieces from the old gingerbread houses from the Christmas pack in Planet Coaster 1, and you color them black, and then with this game we just scale them down, and you can have these kind of really nice looking ornate metal bars, so you can make kind of proper shapes and whatnot. Right now I'm set to mirror, so this design is appearing on the other side as well, just to kind of give it a bit more texture. I also noticed this is on the actual portal at Epic, and it looked neat. Coming in, I am constantly switching back to day and night here, as I want to make sure the lighting on this is as good as it can be. To me, the lighting for this land is going to be absolutely hyper important, because it's got that kind of, it's the dark place. It's supposed to be spooky, it's supposed to be fun at the same time. Adding in the little bulb at the top here, I'm not entirely happy with how this looks at night, but it was the best piece to use, and I'll probably come back in and add a little more lighting, or maybe mod in a screen that is just a sphere so that I can have that kind of effect going for it. But that way I could have the whole kind of swooshing purple effect they have in their little dome ball thing at the top of their portal. Sorry about the weird cut in the audio there. My cat wanted in, so I figured I'd just bring him in and let him sit with me while I record this. But anyways, there's that little Christmas orb piece I was talking about. That's the best for the color. I wish I could use, the spheres or whatnot, but it's just not gonna work. So I might come back in and mod a sphere screen that I can use to give it that kind of animated whooshing purple texture. And then here's me figuring out the lighting for it. I do end up just taking some of the tube lights I was talking about before and hiding them inside the little thing here, just that way it has lighting but isn't too much, and then dimming the rest of the lights so that it's thematic. Starting work on the actual inside of the portal, the first part was to kind of get the little gap where the gate can come through to shut off the land, and then I am trying to get in the, what's it called, they have like this little wall of gears and stuff just before you actually go through the magical bit, or the purple kind of electric walls. So I just put in all these gears, grabbed some girders to connect them, because it's just what they did as well, and I think, it looks right, so I might as well keep to that, no reason to reinvent the design. And then just trying to kind of fix up those little bits there, fill in the gaps on the gate gap. I know. And then coming in with the screens to start that that purple electric wall effect I was talking about. Rock work was really fun this time around. Normally I stress about the rock work because it's always hard to get it looking good, but I think I pulled through on this one. I don't believe I showed it in the speed build here, but I do actually also come in and support these with, you know, kind of little metal structures behind it, just hidden enough, but completely floating rocks. You'd think Backstage of Galaxy's Edge over at Hollywood Studios in Florida. And I guess probably also the one in Disneyland. But just coming in again with realizing, okay, I need to probably actually encase this in a building. That way my, you know, screens and whatnot would have protection. They would be, have a place to be mounted, that kind of basic stuff. Before I continue building the rocks and getting to work on the spire piece. The spire in the actual Dark Universe is supposed to be a giant, kind of like lightning conductor, connect it with wires and whatnot. They also have these roots going up the rocks, and I really liked the kind of creepy and tangled look they gave, so I decided to try and build it with these tree pieces from the sorcery pack. It turns out well. I come back later, I think off camera, to add some more and adjust some of the existing ones just to give it a bit more flair, a bit more connective tissue. And then we now start the spire, abusing the rotation platform pieces for mirroring on this one, or not mirroring, rotation mode on this one. Struggled at first trying to find a good shape, and then I found the little brackets with the hole in them, and that was just perfect. And this is a little small, honestly. I do come back also off camera and scale this whole thing up, as well as add a few more lights later on, just to kind of make it pop a bit more. Though I do really like how the spire turns out here. We should be building that in just a second. But I guess while we build up the spire, and I still have about 7 minutes of talking to do here, I can start talking about what Dorf der Toten is. Dorf der Toten is Village of the Dead. Apologies if I'm butchering that pronunciation. But Village of the Dead, or at least close enough, is our Dark Universe-inspired area in the park, where we are going to be featuring 2 primary attractions, a stage show, and as well as a couple gift shops and a restaurant. Probably a few quick services, but definitely the restaurant. The 2 primary big attractions we have are going to be about Dracula and Creature from the Black Lagoon. For Creature of the Black Lagoon, we are currently planning a aqua coaster. Think your Forbidden Journeys are... Yes, Forbidden Journeys? No? Atlantis Forbidden Journey? There we go. At SeaWorld Orlando, as well as, I don't know any others. But we're going to be thinking about doing one of those so that it can be a nice little story-driven environment that then has intense frill sections. If not an actual boat ride, then we will be using the Intamin multi-dimension coaster. Think the Escape from Gringotts coaster at Universal Studios Florida. The Dracula themed ride is already out on my channel, though it has received some major improvements for this park, but it is going to be, as I said previously on my channel, Flight of the Vampires. This old school B&M 4-seater, inverted 4-seater, is designed to kind of feel like you're taking a flight with Dracula before he turns on you and breaks his promise and says, no, you are becoming a vampire with me. Right now, building in a little divot inside of our front courtyard area and adding a big piece of invisible path on top so I can do this really pretty glass structure I do have to fiddle with this quite a bit to get it to work, but I end up really enjoying what I built here. I think it's almost kind of like those stained glass windows. It's a little less advanced, obviously, because I'm working with very simple shapes for the glass in this game, but I do think it's just pretty enough. I do end up adding some lights down here that I was gonna have spiraling, you know, kind of looking pretty, and then I realized they messed up the display sequencer when using objects that are set to rotate mode connected to a platform piece. Originally, you could trigger the individual ones, but now trying to set them up in the display sequencer just always triggers all of them at once, which does suck. Some quick glamour shots here, in case I had forgotten to record anything, and that this was going to be it. Luckily, there is more speed built after. Again, I come back, I add some more lights here. You'll see our basic nighttime one is a little dark. It gets better later on. I don't remember if I show it, but I'll probably show it in the real time. Coming in, positioning for our Phantom of the Opera stage show area, we have the Paris Opera House I also built for the old Universal Deutschland. While not posted to my channel, it was over on my Reddit account, Amelia Planet Co. Big cut there, but now I'm just setting up the building, kind of connecting it between the stage show and the Swamp Thing building, because, well, it would see stuff like this happen. A good example of that is Battle at the Ministry in Epic Universe actually shares its primary building with Le Cirque Canoe. So, you know, as I would walk through the backstage for working at Ministry, we would often see stage performers from our canoe, as well as even the costume characters. It was always funny when you're having a bad day and all of a sudden the guy in the demiguise suit comes around, because a bunch of them would always try to make you feel better, and that was just a great experience there. And he's putting some extra wall detailing there because that will be a sightline eventually we have to worry about. I do come in here in just a moment, I believe, there it is, and start painting these walls green. That way, people in the bus depot, it's not obvious it's building it. It might take a minute of them looking. Doing it on this final big wall here before we jump on to the next part. I did have to disable the traffic on the highway because the frame rate is already really bad in this park. But it's not the graphics I found, it is actually the CPU, so I'm trying to just limit the amount of active things I have going on. I believe this is our final bit of footage here. What we're doing is building just a little side exit, the Real Dark Universe. Oh, I built the path and then I jumped to the wrong clip. Interesting. Anyways, so we have this little backstage area here behind the Phantom show. Staff will use this to come in as a secondary entrance to their ride as well. There we go, back to the path. Dark Universe in the actual Epic Universe does have one of these. It's just a little side gate. In fact, all the lands have alternate exit routes, except not all of them are in the park. For example, the Wizarding Paris, if you go through its alternate exit, is actually into a backstage lot behind Stardust Racers. But we just have one of these so that it's another exit, it's another way to help deal with the crowds. You don't have too many people going through that main portal. But as we come up to the end here, we will be going to a real time to kind of show everything off a bit more. We do have some stuff in here we didn't show in the video, and some stuff we're not showing in the real time that's also not in this video, but we get to hide it with my favorite thing, the go away box, the stop looking at me box, the please pretend I don't exist box. But I will see you guys in that real time. Alright, and welcome to our real time. Again, ignore the go away box. So in today's episode we have to show off in our real time, we have a little bit here. We'll kind of go over the whole area because I didn't really show it off much in the last thing. I have lined out where everything's gonna go. We do have these kind of raised up area here. We have our primary shops and food places are gonna be up in here. This may end up just being the food because of the size, but then we can come all the way around here to this kind of raised up area where we're going to be able to have a little seating area as well as a couple more little shops. Our Paris Opera House from the old Universal Deutschland is here. Put up some construction equipment just to kind of make it look like it's still in progress, but again, this is now going to be our stage show. You'll come in, queue, probably have the feeder over here, and then you'll exit out down over here, because right here is our Swamp Thing coaster, or Aqua coaster, or whatever. Have to figure out what we're doing there. There's a few designs for it. This building will probably get taller, but I also plan to sink this down into the ground. One of the luxuries I have here over working here in Deutschland instead of working in Florida like I normally would for my park designs is I can actually dig the terrain a bit without much issue. You know, I can build large open areas that are pushed into the ground without much worry. And then we'll go to this guy, our front little portal for this area. It may be a little big. I personally like it, even if it is a bit too wide. I feel like it really fits. The arch, or the screen arch here, will eventually have a video. Right now I've just kind of put this repeating texture so I can get a general idea. But just like the real... I don't know what that sound is. Just like the real Epic Universe portals, we're just going to walk through here, and then you'll be in Dark Universe, or our Dorf, der Toten. Anyways, very short real time today, not much outside of the speed build to talk about. So with that, I want to say thank you. Cheers.